Want to improve your English by listening to fun stories? You're in the right place. This story helps you learn without stress. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a new story. We post one every day. Her name was Nora, and it was her second day in Amsterdam. She had heard so much about the city, the canals, the bridges, and the bikes. Everyone said the best way to see Amsterdam was by bicycle. So that morning, she decided to rent one. The sun was out. The sky was soft blue with slow-moving clouds. The street outside her hostel was already full of bikes, ringing bells and zipping past like a river of wheels. Nora walked to a small bike shop on the corner. It had red bikes, black bikes, even yellow ones. She chose a simple blue one. The man at the shop gave her a quick smile and showed her how to lock it. No helmet, no map, no phone. Just Nora, the bike, and the streets of Amsterdam. She climbed on. At first, it felt strange. It had been years since she had ridden a bike. The seat was high. The handlebars were wide. But she pushed forward anyway. The wind touched her face as she rode slowly down the narrow street. She passed a bakery and smelled something sweet. She passed a woman walking two dogs. A man in a suit rode past her and nodded politely. This city moved fast, but it was gentle too. Soon she reached her first canal. There were boats tied to the sides. Ducks floated beside them. The bridge above the water was thin and made of old stone. Nora stopped for a moment and looked around. This view, water, trees, and houses with big windows, was even better than the pictures. But she couldn't stop for long. Behind her, more bikes were coming. She crossed the bridge and turned left, just riding wherever her legs wanted to go. After about 10 minutes, she entered a busier area. Cars, trams, and so many people. It was a little scary. She tried to stay calm, just like the other cyclists. She remembered one thing: always use hand signals. So when she turned right, she lifted her arm, hoping someone would understand. A woman behind her smiled. That gave her some confidence. She rode along a row of tall, narrow buildings. Some leaned forward a little, as if they were watching the street. The city felt alive. Then something unexpected happened. She reached a roundabout with 5 different roads going in and out. She froze. She didn't know which one to take. A tram bell rang loudly behind her. Nora panicked and rode to the side. She got off the bike and stood on the sidewalk. Okay, she thought. Let's breathe. She watched the other cyclists for a minute. They moved like dancers, flowing through the roundabout with small hand signs and no fear. I can do that, she whispered to herself. She got back on the bike. This time she picked one road at random. It was quiet. She passed a park and a group of kids playing soccer. Her heart calmed down again. She kept riding, turning corners and crossing bridges, until she saw something strange. People were sitting on a boat that looked like a restaurant. They were eating, laughing, and floating down the canal. Nora smiled. Next time, she thought. I'm doing that. By early afternoon, she was tired and hungry. She found a bench beside a canal and parked her bike. She opened her backpack and took out a sandwich and a bottle of water. As she ate, she watched other bikers go past. Some fast, some slow, some with baskets full of flowers, some with kids in front. Everyone had their own bike story. After her break, she decided to ride a little more before heading back. She found herself in a quiet neighborhood. The streets were lined with trees. Cats sat in windows. An old man waved at her as she passed. It felt like a dream. Then the wind picked up. A light rain started to fall. Nora didn't stop. She laughed instead. First time biking in the rain, she said to no one. By the time she returned to the bike shop, her hair was wet, her legs were sore, and her cheeks hurt from smiling. She handed the bike back and thanked the man. He nodded and said something in Dutch. She didn't understand the words, but the feeling was clear. Good ride. She walked slowly back to her hostel. That night, Nora sat in her bed with tired legs and a full heart. She had done it. She had biked all over Amsterdam, without a guide, without a phone, just following the flow of the city. It had been a little scary, sometimes confusing, but it was also beautiful. And more than anything, it had been real. You just experienced a full day in Amsterdam, without leaving your seat and without studying boring grammar. That's how we grow our English, naturally, through feeling and story. You've picked up useful phrases, past tense verbs, and expressions that stick in your memory. If you liked this story, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell for more. We post new stories every single day. And tell us in the comments, where should Nora ride next?